All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring how to proactively protect your business from modern cyber threats using vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, or as we'll be calling it, VAPT. You know, the days of just setting up a firewall and crossing your fingers, yeah, those are completely over. In today's constantly evolving threat landscape, we actually have to find and exploit our own weaknesses before a malicious actor turns them into a headline-making breach. Basically, we're moving from a passive defense posture to active, dynamic threat hunting.
So, let me ask you, are there tiny, invisible, unlocked doors in your website or your app right now? Well, here is the terrifying reality. Basic, automated security tools constantly miss these tiny, hidden entry points. Meanwhile, hackers are utilizing AI to probe your infrastructure 24/7. They're looking for just one incredibly small configuration error to slip through. They aren't waiting for your regular business hours. They are constantly testing the perimeter, searching for that single tiny gap in your armor.
And what actually happens when they find one of those doors? Well, to put it into perspective, $4.45 million. Yeah, you heard that right. That staggering number is the average cost of a single breach today. A tiny gap doesn't just compromise one server. It allows attackers to move laterally through your entire network, escalate their privileges, and deploy ransomware that just freezes your entire company, costing you millions in downtime, recovery, and lost momentum.
To move from an outdated reactive defense to a proactive one, we're going to break down this structured battle plan today. 1. The hidden cyber threat. 2. What exactly is VAPT? 3. The cost of weakness. 4. The attack simulation process. And finally, 5. Prioritizing your defenses.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, the hidden cyber threat moving beyond outdated defenses.
Look, relying on checkbox security, like running a basic vulnerability scan just to pass an annual compliance audit, means you are already severely behind. Checkboxes do not stop AI-driven attacks. They don't stop zero-day exploits. They literally only confirm you met a minimum standard on one specific day of the year. But think about it, your network changes daily. Code is pushed, new servers spin up, configurations drift. If you're only reviewing your security posture annually, attackers working around the clock are effectively a full year ahead of you.
Which brings us to Section 2. What exactly is VAPT? The dual approach to cybersecurity.
So, the crucial point is understanding the ultimate solution we're unpacking today. VAPT is essentially a dual approach. It's like a 1-2 punch. First, you've got the vulnerability assessment, or VA. This is your wide, high-level scan. It checks the perimeter for known flaws and misconfigurations, kind of like checking if the windows on a house are unlocked. But it doesn't stop there, right? Because just knowing a window is unlocked doesn't tell you what a thief could actually do once they're inside. That's where penetration testing, or PT, comes in. This is the deep dive. This is where ethical hackers actively try to open that window, climb inside, and see exactly what they can compromise. It safely mimics real hacker attacks to validate exactly how exploitable those vulnerabilities actually are in the real world.
Now, moving on to Section 3, the cost of weakness, from weakness to real risk.
Let's look at why ignoring these vulnerabilities transforms a simple technical flaw into a devastating business disaster. It triggers a brutal domino effect. A single unaddressed breach opens the door for lateral movement and ransomware, leading immediately to a total business shutdown. And while your operations are completely frozen and your team is scrambling, your customer data is quietly being exfiltrated. That instantly destroys trust and ruins your reputation. But the fallout doesn't even end there. That stolen data triggers massive regulatory fines and causes major clients to cancel their contracts. It's wild. A minor technical oversight literally becomes a catastrophic legal and financial nightmare.
Let's pivot to Section 4, the attack simulation process, safely mimicking the hackers.
Now, what's really fascinating here is seeing exactly how ethical hackers systematically simulate these attacks. During the initial attack phase, it happens in 4 distinct steps. First is scoping. This is absolutely crucial. Experts define the precise boundaries of the test so they don't accidentally take down your live production servers while playing the bad guy. Next is mapping and service ID, where they build a complete architecture map of every system in play, uncovering assets you might have even forgotten were online. Phase 3 is reconnaissance and enumeration. Just like an advanced threat actor, they scrape public data and probe endpoints to gather actionable intelligence. Finally, scanning. They launch automated, highly sophisticated tools to map out every single potential weakness across the network before they even attempt a manual breach.
Okay,
Following the break-in, the analysis and mitigation phase takes over. Step 1 is vulnerability identification, basically sifting through all the noise of the automated tools to determine which findings are critical threats versus just false positives. Step 2 is generating the penetration testing report, which documents the exact kill chain the ethical hackers used, allowing your internal teams to see the exact attack path. Step 3 is strategic mitigation. Actually, scratch that. It's more like strategic architecture repair. It isn't just about slapping a quick patch on something. It's about building a clear remediation plan that fixes the root flaws. And finally, fix verification. This is rigorously retesting the environment to ensure those fixes actually hold up against a secondary attack.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, prioritizing your defenses, fixing what matters most.
Because, let's be real, you absolutely cannot fix everything at once. So this process helps organize the chaos into a structured priority list. We separate this into tiers. Tier 1 represents your absolute highest priority. These are your web apps, mobile apps, and public-facing APIs. These are Tier 1 because they sit right there on the public internet. They are your most exposed attack surface. Tier 2 represents highly critical internal architecture, your cloud infrastructure, microservices, and distributed systems. By prioritizing Tier 1 edge vulnerabilities first to stop that initial breach, and then securing the Tier 2 internal core to prevent lateral movement, you are tackling the most exploitable risks systematically.
So, when you move away from simple reactive bug hunting and actually implement regular VAPT, you unlock some massive benefits. You get a prioritized defense, a literal to-do list of what to fix first based on real-world exploitability. You become fully compliant ready, armed with certified reports that keep auditors and regulators completely confident in your posture. You future-proof your architecture by understanding exactly how tomorrow's hackers are going to attempt to breach you. And most importantly, you save millions. The cost of a proactive VAPT assessment is just a microscopic fraction compared to suffering that $4.45 million average breach.
I want to leave you with this final, really critical question. If an AI-driven hacker targeted your digital infrastructure tonight, what would they find? Would they hit a solid wall of resilience, or would they find tiny, hidden unlocked doors? Stop guessing. Start securing, and take a hard look at the hidden risks lurking in your systems right now. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.